Hi, how y'all doing? Did I forget how to be in front of a camera? Ooh. Just make the ugliest face and then you can go back to normal. So guys, I'm so sorry that I didn't make a YouTube video last weekend, but it was because my family was in town and I really just wanted to spend time with them. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, but I hadn't seen my family since Christmas because of this whole COVID. I usually visit them like every 3 months. So yeah, it's gonna be a whole year before I see my mom again. I guess we're just lucky that we have FaceTime and Snapchat and Messenger where we can communicate with everybody. But can you imagine if this was happening and I couldn't see my family other than hearing them over the phone? I'd probably go crazy if I'm being honest. Also, I cut my hair. Okay, so Ben cut my hair yesterday and then I tried this like TikTok trend. I think it's called like the diva cut curl haircut and I freaking love it. I'm actually gonna dye my hair dark brown again today because y'all know what this looks like when it's straight. It has to go. So anyways, I don't want to waste any more of everybody's time and let's get started with the scary stories. I'm like really feeling this hairstyle and curls. Did y'all know that I used to get, well, you don't know, I'm gonna tell you. I used to get bullied in middle school because I had curly hair. They used to make fun of me so bad that I started straightening my hair and damaging it like so bad. Bully me now. I mean, if I'm being really honest, the girls that would bully me requested me on Facebook. Of course, they always do that. We're such bigger and better people now. Nah, homie, now I can defend myself. What's good? What's good? Okay, guys, so this first story is from Emmy. Hey, I have a scary story from a haunted house I used to live in. I have lots of stories from this house, but here's the main one. Oh boy. So when I was little, Mom would tuck me into bed and I would say good night toes, good night feet, good night nose, good night mouth, etc. And I would always say good night angels. Then I started adding, the babies are crying because Sunny is leaving them soon, to my nightly good night routine. The thing is, my mom was pregnant at the time and no one knew. Plus, everyone who ever came to our house would always hear babies crying, even though I was 2 or 3 and I wasn't crying, and we lived on 60 acres away from anyone who had a baby. When my baby brother was born, he was given the nickname Sunny, and no one ever heard babies crying again. Whoa. Okay guys, so this next story is from Karen. When I was 6 years old, I had very much nightmares at the time, but one night it was odd. I dreamed that I was kidnapped and I didn't ever know how it feels like to be kidnapped, but I felt like it happened in real life. The next night, I had a normal dream, but then I felt like a hand was on my shoulder. I thought it could be my mother, but this hand was cold and very hard. I woke up and saw no one there. Okay guys, so this next story is from I Don't Know. IDK. When I was about 4, I had this neighbor. She was really nice and she lived with her husband. I used to spend a lot of time with her and she would give me food, buy toys. Then one day I told her, you know, there's a guy that's madly in love with you, right? She looked at me like she saw a ghost. Then she asked, did my husband told you about yesterday? I said no and giggled while looking behind her. Then she told me she went to a woman who can communicate with spirits, and the woman said there's a man that's always watching her and following her. Then she asked me, do you see him now? And I told her, yeah, he's right behind. Then giggled a little. Then the next month she moved and split up with her husband, and I think her husband died. Now that I look back, I always seen a man looking at her showering from the window. What the? That's weird. Okay guys, so this next story is from I Eat Toes. All right. One time I was sleeping with my dog and I woke up in the middle of the night and he was sitting straight up. He was looking off my bed and his head was cocked to the side like when dogs hear noises. He was looking at something, but I couldn't tell what it was because it was dark. Then he ran off my bed and started growling at something. I kept calling for him to get back on the bed, but he wouldn't come. Finally, I said, Come on, buddy, get on my bed before they get you. And I don't remember wanting to say that. I didn't even mean to. What the heck? Oh my god. Wait, don't they say that animals can like see stuff that we can't? I would have been terrified. Okay, this next story is from Jasmine. I know you probably won't see this. I did. But when my little brother was 5 and we lived in our old house, he would wake up in the middle of the night and I would hear him talk to something or someone. And every time I asked him about it, he would always say he wanted to talk or he's a friend. I thought it was an imaginary friend at first, but one day it was around 2 a.m. and we were sleeping in the same room, his room, because he was having nightmares that day before, and all of a sudden he sits up and says, he's in the closet. We ran to my parents, and when they checked, there was nothing there. We later moved and my brother stopped seeing things, and to this day I have no idea what that thing was, but I've always believed my brother. Okay, this next story is from Monica Rivera, and let me just tell y'all, this girl has like a crazy amount of stories. I already shared one on my TikTok, but like we could just make a whole series about her and everything that's happened. So let's get started. My little sister was maybe 3 at the time this started. She had an imaginary friend. We brushed it off because she was really little. In time, this imaginary friend started making my sister do weird things like crawl under mine and my older sister's bunk bed and grab our ankles. Bro, I'm sorry. I know this is your sister, but if it was my sister, she would have gotten kicked in the head straight up. My sister would do weird things like crawl under mine and my older sister's bunk bed and grab our ankles, stand over my dad in his bed and just watch him sleep, scream in the middle of the night. The list goes on. One day, my dad finally told her this friend wasn't real, and things got worse from there. My little sister started saying that the little girl under her bed was angry and told her to kill us. My dad was bugged at this point and told my sister to tell this little girl to go away. My sister did, and she started waking up with scratches and bruises all over her body. She said it was because the little girl didn't want to leave. My dad asked her what she looked like. My sister said, she looks like me, but dead. My sister was 4 at the time. She didn't learn about death yet, sorry. See, this is why I can't imagine myself being a parent, because what would I do in this situation? I don't know what Ben would have to deal with that, because I would be as terrified. I wouldn't know what to do. Okay, guys, this next story is from Emily Woolley. I hope I'm saying that right. Hey, Letty, I have a creepy story. So when I was around 2 to 3 years old, me and my mom and dad moved into a new house. I once sat on the end of my bed laughing and giggling at something. So my mom walked in and said, "What are you laughing at?" And I said, as a 2-year-old, "I'm laughing at the lady with the curly hair sat in my wardrobe. She's funny." My mom later found out that the person who recently lived in that house was found dead in the wardrobe and had just gotten a perm 3 weeks before she was murdered. I don't want curly hair anymore. Get it off my head. Okay, guys, this next story is from Noah Schnaps. I can never pronounce his last name. Noah Schnaps fan. My best friend told me this story. One day, her parents were going out, so my best friend and her 2 younger sisters were home alone. Her parents got a very old, over 100-year-old painting hanging over their bed of a woman named Clothilde, who was holding a child in her arms looking at it carefully. When my best friend was about to go to bed that evening and walked down the long hallway to her room and past her parents' room, she saw the woman staring directly at her. She screamed and ran to her room. I'm scared every time I have to sleep over at our house. Oh my god, so hold on. The painting, the woman was looking at the baby, and when your friend was passing by her parents' room, the painting was looking at her? Okay, guys, this next story is from Rastel Roses. I remember once I was playing with my dad's grandma. I went to her, she tickled me, and I ran away, and it went on like that. That's how I remember it. Then when I told my mom about it, she said I couldn't walk at that age. Then again, I told my parents about it in the car, and my mom said, "That's not possible." My dad said, "Leave her, maybe there's more things she remembers." There, I love you so much. Did you mean like she was she had passed away and you were playing with her? I'm a little confused. Oh, because you couldn't walk. That is weird. My grandma passed away when I was like 9 or 10, and I used to have we always had bunk beds, and my sister slept on top and I slept on the bottom. And my mom told me that I would always wake up because there was a window right next to the bunk bed that I slept on, and the wind would come in. Like, we didn't have AC, but my mom said that I would wake up laughing all the time. And she would be like, "Why are you laughing?" And I would tell her, "Because Mama Soyla's playing with me." And my grandma had already passed away at the time. But my mom said that we went to school and she laid down in my bunk bed and took a nap, and that she woke up laughing because my grandma was playing with her in her dream. That's crazy. I don't find that creepy. I think that's super sweet, and I wish it happened again because I want to remember that. I don't remember it though, but my mom told me about that. Okay guys, so this next person wanted to remain anonymous. Last night, it was about 1 or 2 a.m. when I heard footsteps. I thought nothing of it since I live with many people. Then again, at maybe 2:30 a.m., I heard someone open the kitchen gate. After a while of hearing this, I went to look out my door. Nobody was there. I walked a bit further to the kitchen where I saw the gate open. The kitchen light was on, many cabinets were open, and after a while, what looked like my sister said, "Go to bed. The man is behind you." Terrified, I went to my sister's room, the closest to where I was standing, and there she was, sound asleep. I FaceTime my parents every morning, and my mom and dad both said they heard me and my sister playing around last night. I'm terrified. What the heck? Why didn't your parents get up and check to see why the heck you guys are making so many noise? Because I know my mom would have already been screaming out of her room. So do you think they were probably scared and they were just like, "Oh, it's the kids, let's not go check"? Okay guys, this next story is from Hala Ahmed. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So me and my mom and my aunt have very similar voices. My parents got divorced when I was a kid, so my mom needed to get a job. One time I heard my mom say, "I'm back from work." I ran out of my room to give her a big hug, but she was not there. I live with my grandparents and my aunt, not the one that has the same voice as my mom, but another one. Anyway, I asked my aunt if my mom came back and she said no, so I thought she was the one who said I'm back. After a week, I heard someone say, "I'm back from work." I thought it was my mom, but then remembered that she will come back from work at 10 p.m. So I went out to see if it was my aunt, but then again, I realized that my aunt did not come. There was no one, and still till today, I hear my mom say I'm home, but no one is home. What the heck? It sounds like, there's a word for it, but I can't think of it, where a spirit is stuck in a loop. I'm not saying this is a spirit, I'm just saying this is what I thought of, where a spirit is stuck on a loop doing what they did right before they passed or stuff like that. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I'd be creeped out though. I was gonna say recorded, but I wouldn't even play with that stuff. Okay guys, this next story is from Dan Dora. I'm really bad with names. I had sleep paralysis one time, and it was like I was staying in the bed facing the mirror, and then a girl with ginger hair was walking to me, but I didn't get scared because it wasn't the first time I saw her. But last time I woke up when she was in the middle of my room. This time, she didn't stop, and then I got really scared. She came to me, and then she jumped on me and tried to strangle me, and that's when I woke up screaming. My sisters came in my room and asked me what's going on, and I told her. She got scared, and I asked her why, and she started to describe that girl, and we were talking about the same girl. She told me that she saw her in some of her dreams. Later that day, my cousin, 3 years old, came to see us. He came in my room and looked at that mirror from where the girl came out and started crying. And I asked him, "What's wrong?" And he said, "There's a ghost. I don't want to look." Okay, guys, this next story is from Zumbal_30. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I took a little break and I ate some enchiladas. And now I'm full and I can't breathe. Help. A month ago, I remember getting ready to go to bed. Then my mom calls me, so I go to the kitchen. But when I Was at the kitchen, there was nobody there. So I call my mom and I hear her voice from her and my dad's room. So I ask her, wasn't you at the kitchen a second ago? And she replies with, no. So I just thought it was my mind trying to trick me. So I brushed my teeth and put my PJs on. I went to my bed and got my phone to text my friends. An hour later, I wasn't sleeping and then I heard someone whispering in my ear, you will pay back for this. I was scared at the moment, so I just got my drawing book and started drawing my friends. And then 9 minutes later, I heard someone say, you will pay for this like 5 times. And then I went to my parents and told her what happened. I slept with them just for that way, and the next day, everything was normal. Heck no, I'd be sleeping with them every night after that. Okay guys, this next story is from May Jaybury 90. Hello, I would love to share my story with you. One summer, I went to visit my home country and I was staying with my relatives. We are used to always taking naps after having lunch. I used to sleep in my cousin's room and there was a big window in her room. Every day I would wake up from a sound of a bird calling my name. I used to think I'm dreaming, but a few times I opened my eyes and saw a little bird. It was the same bird every day and the same timing. After a few days, I told my cousin, but she didn't believe me and I never saw or heard that bird again. What the heck? We're just talking about lechuzas. Oh my god. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my TikTok and it'll be in the title. Lechuzas part 1 and 2, I think. Look that up. Look it up. Okay guys, so I think the next 2 stories are anonymous. So here's the first one. I have multiple stories, but here's my favorite. I have multiple stories, but here's my favorite. I was 5 years old and me and my sister were drawing. We ran out of paper, so I went to get some. I came back into the room and there was a girl sitting there. She had a red skirt on and had black hair with a fringe. She was facing her back to me, so I couldn't see her face. So I said, hi, my sister's name, multiple times, but she didn't reply. I soon realized that wasn't my sister. I came back in after telling my mom and no one was there. My whole family were in the living room and not too long ago, I got woken up by small hands touching my head. And 3 in the morning, I got up and no one was there. My second one is my family sees a man a lot in the house. First, a tall shadow man who comes into our room at night and loves my room. He likes me, so does the little girl. And my sister, who has never seen a ghost in her life, saw him 3 days ago at my bed. Second, there is an old man who my sister saw sleeping on the couch under her bed once. And last, there is a man with brown hair and he is very tall. I seen walk through the door and run into the wall. And lastly, there is a man with heavy boots who likes to slam doors. No one has seen him, but my sisters heard him walking down the stairs with heavy boots and chains. We don't know what to do. I'm 13 and has dealt with this my whole life. It doesn't scare me. If this is in my vid, don't show my username. You know what's crazy? I used to live, well, my mom's house, I've told you so many times, is haunted. And until I moved out of my mom's house is when I realized that living that way is not a normal way, but you do get used to it, which is really messed up. Like, until you move out and live on your own and hopefully things do not follow you, you will realize that that way of living was crazy. It's messed up and it messes with you. You're stressed out all the time and you don't even realize it. Okay guys, so that is all the stories I have, but I will be posting like normal again. So watch for a video next week. My work schedule's changing again, so I think I will be able to post on the weekend and on Mondays now because I'm gonna be off Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So hopefully I can post more videos, so look out for that. And again, everybody who shared their stories, thank you so much. And for those of you who have shared your story and are waiting for me, thank you so much for your patience. Anyways guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment your scary stories if you want me to read them on video. So thank you so much. I love you. Bye.